In this home workout, I'm building strength and muscle in my chest, back, and shoulders, but I'm also doing flexibility training for my hips, focusing on the middle splits and the hip flexors. If you've hit a plateau with your strength and flexibility training, this video is really going to help you, because I'll be taking you step by step through my entire workout and explaining when and why I either add weight or reduce weight from set to set to ensure that I get enough volume to keep getting stronger, building muscle, and getting more flexible. That was a good first set. Hopefully I'll be able to even go heavier, but I'll just stay on that for the first couple of sets because this is only week one of a 4-week cycle. So we never peak in week one. We test out what we can do. All right. There we go. Change sides. Always make sure that my knee is the same distance from the couch. Posterior pelvic tilt. Okay, so because I'm doing intensification training, my rest times are going to be a little bit longer. What's good as well is that you enter your weight of what you're going to do for your next set when you finish the first set. Because if you change weights from set to set, you can forget what weight you intended to lift by the time you get back there. So when you finish your set, that's a good time to say, okay, I'm going to do this much weight. I'm going to set up for pull-ups now. And I'm going to do 13 kilos. So this is why it's really important to write down what you're going to do in the next set when you finish that first set. And I've got to start my rest timer and go and do my stretch. So by doing lower body flexibility training, strength sets, I can really maximize my time. And now my rest time's up, time for dips. All right, that felt pretty good. So I'm going to go to 10 kilos on my next set. Get my stretch. All right. All right, let's go. Whew. That was much better, but still too easy. I think I might do 15 or 16. I'll do 16. If you use progressive overload correctly, you need to be very, very particular with how much weight you lift, how many reps you do. Getting to the end of your workout and writing down kind of what you did, that will not achieve the desired outcome that you have with strength training or building muscle. It's got to be very specific because you have to manipulate it, and if you have a rep range that you're trying to do and you didn't get the amount of reps you were meant to, then you were lifting too heavy and you need to work on either reducing the weight, depending on how bad you missed it, or staying on that exact same weight until you get the required reps. You don't just try to go up in weight. And then there's the other end of the spectrum. If it was too easy for you and you just blitz through it, then you got to go up in weight, That's why I love using the UMS app, so that I can be very, very specific. And you can look at all your graphs of your strength development and everything. A little bit more rest. So this is 22 pounds now. I'll stay on 10 for this next set. Actually, I got it pretty easy. I'll do 12. I'm gonna get my 30 seconds here. You've got to really concentrate on a posterior pelvic tilt when you do the couch stretch. Now what I usually do, probably notice that I only have 3 sets of flexibility, but 5 sets of strength. And that's because for me, my focus is on building as much muscle as I can and strength. My flexibility exceeds my strength for what I want to be able to do. And so because the last 2 rounds of strength training are always the toughest, I just give myself that full recovery time without anything in the middle for the last couple of rounds. But we have people that work with us in the UMS where it's the opposite, where They do less strength training, less focus on strength and more focus on flexibility in the workout because they're the opposite. Their strength and their muscle mass exceeds their flexibility. So your workout always has to be customized to you, to what it is that you need. But the template of the one-to-one strength, upper body strength, lower body flexibility, or lower body strength, upper body flexibility in the same workout, it just works really well. My rest. All right, so I did 3 and that was really easy. So I'm gonna go to 20. And then what I'd do in my next workout is, if you can increase the weight by 5% every workout, so in a 4-week cycle, you increase by 20%, that's a really good increase from week 1. If you did that every cycle, that really adds up. You know, that's how you use progressive overload. You really think about what it is that your goal is, and you plan your strength improvements. You plan for it. The good thing about this app is you can look at what you did in all your last workouts and your last sets, so you can see the numbers that you got. And so I'm just doing a passive loaded stretch here now because I didn't want to fatigue my nervous system between sets. All right, let's do it. All right, that was good. I'm going to stay on that weight for my last set. I still got it, but I was struggling now to achieve lockout of depression at the top. All my dips always finish with that depression, so I really reset the scapular position, and that was becoming a challenge. I'll stay on 12 for the final set, which is really good considering that I've had a slap tear in both shoulders. Because when you've had a slap tear, the long head of the bicep is a part of it. That's where the long head of the bicep connects to the labrum, right where that slap tear happens. So anything that puts the bicep into extreme lengthening is really problematic. And when I was in the earlier phases of coming out of my slap tears, and I had one in each shoulder, like a dip was impossible. I could barely go down to about there without being in pain. Now to regain just first that full range of motion. So this is really good. I'm really happy that I'm getting 12 kilograms for 3 reps in week 1. You know, I'm gonna build on it each week. So yeah, we'll see if I can finish on maybe 13 or 14 kilos next week, and I just keep going like that, because the injury and going backwards is the worst thing, so you gotta avoid that. Daytime. Woo, all right, I am happy with that. Finished my primaries and under my supplementaries. And so if you're wondering why I'm pushing out like that, it's a technique that my brother learned from a friend of ours, Ben Pekulski. Taught, you know, for maximum pec activation, to push out into a Y shape with the intention of contracting your pec as much as you can, because as soon as you come in here like this, or the worst is when people pull the weights together at the top, you actually deload the pec. So I'm doing that to maintain tension in the pecs at all times. It's really good. For these supplementaries, I don't need as much rest. And I planned on doing 3 sets, but I might do 4. I'll see how I feel. When you do an intensification workout, a strength workout, the intensification part, the strength development part, it's the primaries only, because you're only capable of producing maximum strength for those first 2 exercises. What I'm doing now, I can't produce max strength. So it's not considered strength anymore, training. This is just adding volume, which is why you do a higher rep range. So this last set's going to be tough because you can see I only got 9, I'm aiming for 8 to 10 reps. You can see that there, but I only got 9 reps on the last set. So if I can get 8 or 9 again, then I'll be happy. This is my last set. So this is what I really got to try. This is, my last opportunity to get some volume in the chest for this exercise. Let's go. Oh man, the last set. All right, that was getting tough. I'll push for 8 again at 10. Woo! Gets tough at this stage of the workout, but this is where you've got to dig in, You've got to get the volume in. It's important. Volume matters. Now I'm on to my last 2 exercises, the volume. All right, so before I do my middle splits, I'm going to do some antagonist muscle end range contractions. So I'm going to work the glutes at end range to, hack my nervous system and get deeper into the middle splits. All right, that's it. I would call that workout challenging. Smoothie time.